Welcome to Cyber Tech with Anna. Today we're gonna talk about the importance of Intune. Before tools like Intune, managing devices was honestly chaotic. Everything was manual. No central visibility, no easy remote management, too many devices, too many tickets, too many things breaking at the same time. And the world itself was changing faster than traditional IT could keep up with. People started working remotely, devices were everywhere, companies became more connected, but infrastructure was still built for an older world. And this created pressure on IT teams everywhere. Then the world changed very quickly. Remote work increased, people started working from home, coffee shops, airports, like you name it. Devices were no longer sitting safely inside one office building, and suddenly companies needed secure access, remote management, global connectivity, and systems that could scale fast. Traditional IT wasn't designed for that level of speed and flexibility, and this pushed organizations towards the cloud. And honestly, IT teams felt the pressure immediately. Everything became more complex. Devices needed manual setup, VPNs became overloaded, security risks increased, tickets exploded. There was no single place to manage everything efficiently. And instead of improving systems, well, many engineers were stuck constantly reacting to problems. That's why modern management solutions became necessary. Not because companies wanted trendy technology, but because traditional infrastructure was struggling to survive modern demands. So, cloud migration became more than just a technical upgrade, it became operational survival. The old on premise world felt more isolated, slow, hard to scale, and difficult to manage remotely. The cloud introduced centralized management, remote visibility, scalability, and more consistent security. And this is where tools like Intune started becoming extremely important. So, the easiest way I explain Intune to beginners is through analogy. Think about an airport control tower. The tower sees all the planes, communicates remotely, applies rules, monitors safety, and keeps operations running smoothly. Intune works very similarly. Instead of planes, it manages devices, policies, apps, security, updates, and visibility. All flow from one centralized cloud platform. And suddenly, IT became less chaotic and much easier to scale. Modern IT is no longer about managing one office. Companies now operate across multiple sites, remote workers, mobile devices, cloud systems, and constant cybersecurity threats. That's why Intune became so important. It gives organizations visibility, control, security, and scalability, just like the airport control tower coordinating planes safely. Intune helps IT teams coordinate devices safely and efficiently. So, this became very real for me very quickly. When I joined my company, I was still studying software engineering at university, and honestly, we barely touched real infrastructure there. So when I entered my first comms room inside the library, dust, switches, routers, cables everywhere. To most people, it probably looks like chaos. But to me, it felt exciting because I was finally seeing the hidden side of the buildings people never think about. And at that moment, I told myself, I'm going to witness both worlds, the old infrastructure and the new cloud world. And then the migration started. 11 engineers, 400 plus sites nationwide, almost everything changing in around 2 years. But cloud migration is not just moving to the cloud. There is a lot of things happening before the cloud, such as planning the rollout, waiting for fiber installations because many sites were still on DSL, ordering compatible hardware, traveling across the country, enrolling devices into Intune, testing printers migrated to cloud, supporting stuff, creating guides. I've myself finished almost 20 leisure centers in just 2 weeks. And honestly, the pace was insane. But the hardest part was not always technical, it was humane, especially with people resisting to change. Many staff members were overwhelmed. Some didn't want to use MFA. Some didn't understand why systems change so fast. Written guides were not enough. People needed videos, visual explanation, analogies, support, reassurance. And this is where I realized something far more important. Technology alone does not create trust. People create trust. Communication matters. Empathy matters. Simplifying matters. And during all this, I was exhausted, burned out, tickets, long days, survival mode. But curiosity kept me going. I wanted to understand how Intune works, how policies work, how systems connect together, and how people react to change. Because I love bringing value. And eventually, I realized this was not just a migration, it was a transformation of systems, people, and the entire company. One thing I wish beginners understood earlier is this: confusion is normal. Everyone starts from somewhere. A lot of beginners think cloud means everything just works automatically. But cloud still depends on internet, identity, devices, policies, security, and communication. Many people also think IT is just fixing devices. But real IT is understanding systems and how everything connects together. Security is not only antivirus. Migration is not only technical. Support is not only fixing things. A good engineer also needs communication, observation, patience, and the ability to explain complex things simply. Because technology is not only about devices, it's about helping people. So, if we simplify everything into one picture, why does Intune exist? Because organizations need a modern way to manage devices securely from anywhere. Second question: what problem does it solve? Well, it solves operational chaos, manual work, lack of visibility, security gaps, inconsistent setup. And the third question: and why does it matter today? Because modern work environment or environments are everywhere now. Cloud systems help companies become more secure, more scalable, more connected, and more efficient. But the most important thing I learned is this: technology is not only powerful when people, I'm sorry, I was wrong with that. Technology is only powerful when people understand it. And our job in IT is not only to manage systems, is to connect the dots.